guys. I'm going to do a deep dive of some degree or another, some length or another, rather, on J.D. Vance. Um, just kind of like to look at people's horizons and see what we can know about what is coming into their sphere, their present situation and maybe what's a little further ahead. And a lot of times the cards will give you more than that. They will kind of try to tell you maybe what's around it, what's kind of bringing that, the activity that's bringing that forward. Because that's what you need to understand about the tarot, is that it gives you the most likelihood if things continue as they are going. And that means you have to allow room for people to use their free will to make choices that can affect that. And depends on how people use that. So that's something always good to keep in mind. The other thing is that it is better not to get too attached to a fixed perception of how things are going to transpire. Just keep to sticking to the themes of what you're seeing and, be patient and allow things to manifest, and then you can see how they come about. You kind of have to get out of your own way with that. So I would caution you about getting really committed to an outcome. And I just mean in the way of how it will transpire, or to where you are just destroying yourself emotionally, because that will not help you. You need to, according to what I've been getting, keep calm and keep active to do what you can do. And then you've got to learn to let go. And we all have to learn. It's not easy. And there will be negative consequences of him and the cheating and all of this. But we have to not be attached to how that transpires. Keep to what we can do and turn it over. And try not to allow it to manipulate our emotions and drain us. And that's hard. But that's the message. And I would also caution you before you jump at certain readers for this and that. A lot of times we'll hear what we want to hear. We need to listen to a reader's reading more than once. Just like you have to watch a movie more than once to kind of get some nuances, because there's more things, especially with readings as time goes on, that will bring context. And it's always easy with hindsight. So keep this in mind, please. And don't be rude, because there's no point and no need in that. All right. Having said that, let's move on. We're going to throw cards on J.D. Vance, and I invite you to throw cards along with me. And feel free in the comments to share, the cards that you have. If you do that, or sum up, if you get something that confirms it, or something a little different, I don't mind, as long as you're not rude and that you're contributing to the conversation. That's positive. All right. So let's see. Now, J.D. Vance, I like to get a little bit of a background going here. As you know, I like to know their basics with their birth chart. And they do have a time for him. So he was born August the 2nd, 1984 at 8:11 a.m. in Ohio. And his sun is in Leo. His moon is in Libra, his ascendant is in Leo, and his midheaven is in Taurus. He has dominant signs of Leo, Scorpio, and Virgo, and dominant planets of Venus, Sun, and Mars. Houses are 12, 3, 4. And he is a wood rat with the birth path of the number 5. Okay. So, keeping in mind, Leo Sun, Leo Ascendant, Libra Moon, and a midheaven of Taurus. Okay. So, what do we need to know about J.D. Vance? Like, is he going to be inaugurated with Trump? That's what I want to look at. Is he going to be inaugurated with Trump on what is set to be January 20th? So let's break open this reading with asking if, just the basics, throwing it out there, if J.D. Vance will end up being inaugurated as VP for number 47. Okay, I want to give these a darn good shuffle. Let's go. Will J.D. Vance be inaugurated with DJT? Well, I get the Three of Wands. They are looking forward to it. They're already starting to set up, with the appointments and things like that. So this is a card of looking forward yet, but already acting. And that's kind of what they're doing. All right. What is the pair? You guys, I get this every time I ask this question. And the Hanged Man. Before I did get set up to film this throughout the day, I had been just throwing some cards here and there. And I got the Hanged Man. And I thought, that's about the third or fourth time the first card that came out was the Hanged Man. This time it was the second. Is this looking for a delay? I don't know. This is about looking for maybe a change in how people are viewing things, maybe. But I'm looking at it as a delay at this point because this thing keeps popping up. And I don't think there's any need to completely throw out the aspect of a shift in perspective at all. I think we are going to have some definite transformative shift that would make sense that it would cause a shift in awareness, a flip in in how we see things. But I also feel like it's a delay. All right, let's look and see what we get else, because I'm asking that question. Was he going to be inaugurated? I'm getting a delay again. There's going to be a lot of feelings about this because you have a great deal of ego here. But I'm also getting an excess with these cups, and it's overflowing. What is going on with this? It's overflowing with smugness? Because that's what it just feels like poison. It would make sense if it was some kind of reaction. And it might also be a smugness given to he's thinking if they think they're going to be able to delay it, they're kidding themselves type of thing. But I would caution him. I'd caution us all. Because he gets the Tower and the Ten of Swords. No, I just don't get J.D. Vance with Trump. Something changes and it's out of the blue. And there's a lot of emotion that's going to be released. Possibly also a kind of a painful end for him. And an unexpected one. Something unexpected that is a devastating end. That completely collapses that expectant Trump Tower of I'll be around for, to be crowned in this thing. It's not going to happen. I don't know how. I don't know why. The only thing I'm getting from bits here and there is that they're looking into corruption and fraudulence in this election. And I'm not making that up and blowing it out my backside to you guys because Russia has come out and said to the world, hey, Trump, we did you a favor. Don't forget you're obligated to us. And he hasn't denied it. He's talking to him. And Elon Musk has been in regular contact with Putin for a couple of years. They've all been planning this. And I think they're pretty convinced they're going to get away with it. And I'm sure they are going to try very, very hard to do so. And we're going to have to try very, very hard and push our representatives to fight tooth and nail, or we'll fire them. Okay, so after we get the Tower and the Ten of Swords, which is a painful collapse, we get the need of help. We get the need of him seeking others to maybe financially help them. I don't know if this is asking for donations, maybe asking for financial assistance, or if they're going to be asking the big donors and not just the public that support them. He gets the Nine of Wands and the Five of Swords. He's going to go through a hard time. The bullying aspect, the ruthlessness of others is going to be injurious to him. We have the head bandaged here. So I feel that he could be scapegoated. He could be someone that others within, not unlike they did Pence. I don't know. If something goes awry, I think he's looking at finding himself between a rock and a hard place. And we get the card that's nostalgic of the past and childhood maybe even, and the sun, some kind of, also children. In the past come to light. Childhood. Forgive the wound back if you hear it. Still thinking of a nickname for it. And if you have one, feel free to put in the comments below. Yeah, with JD, there is something that comes to light about the childhood. And maybe about his childhood. There's some kind of, exposure here with a heavy, heavy emphasis because you've got both a child on the sun and you've got small children and innocence that go back to past. And that's often our past, our childhood, our siblings, nostalgia that is connected with the past. I'm not sure. But there's a completion with the world and a page of pentacles. Something new is developing after something has completed. All right, I'm going to leave that there. And I say, don't try and always, it's okay, I think, to form an idea, but don't become overly attached to it. Let it be fluid. Don't make that mistake. Okay, now, that didn't look very good for his inauguration. Let's clear this deck. Clear, clear, clear. Just going to pause, clear this, grab another deck. Okay, so I've picked up this little secret pocket oracle. This is the deluxe edition by Deviant Moon, who makes a number of very weird, kind of odd little clarifier decks. And again, if you're a collector or you're someone that is expanding how you read, with different decks and imagery, you might like this deck. Others may go, no. But I'm going to attempt to use it as a clarifier here and see what we get with it. I know. What do we need to know about J.D. Vance, Donald Trump, and that inauguration that they're so looking forward to? What do we need to know? And this is regarding however the inauguration is going to be affecting them. What do we need to know? I get this sun. So some kind of clarity is coming once again. All right. And I get the foot. Don't make me look that up on this. I get blood. And I get the octopus. The octopus to me is organized arms of one team, if you will. All right. Foot and sun, blood and octopus, crow and scourge. Yeah, I just think he is going to be caught out. And I feel that there's extenuating circumstances that are going to be very punishing, and the truth is going to come out in a very punishing factor where he's concerned. And he's got the puppet because I think largely he and Trump are just little puppets for the people like Elon and the other team members to manipulate. And I get the harp. So let me just take a look at these. Okay, you guys. Okay, you guys. I located the PDF file for the meanings of these cards, and I'm glad I did. So let's get to it. For one thing, let me just read you the names of the cards here that I'm getting, and then I'm going to go to read the meanings. Okay, we get the sun, we get the foot, we get the blood and the octopus. Now, the octopus has got some underhanded kind of connotations to it. So does the crow. We get the scourge, as I said, the puppet, and the harp. All right, now, the first two I'm going to look at are the sun and foot. Pardon my voice. So this is very interesting. Looking up the meanings of the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle was very enlightening. And it goes something like this. Starts off with the sun and the foot. This is speaking about exposure that shows a link, shows activity, shows a connection. We get blood and octopus. This, again, talks about a connective link to oppressive greed that is entangling and criminal. The next two cards speak of criminal activity with the warning of the crow, literally criminal activity, and the scourge, punishment. We get the card of the puppet, somebody that's being manipulated, brainwashed. And we do get the harp, which talks about peace and serenity. I don't know why we get those two, but let's just put it on the shelf. We know where the puppet comes in and the brainwashing. And we get the strength and the frog. Now let me just go back and get that for you. So I'll do that without pausing. Okay, rope number 81 is a strong connection or bond, being tied up or tangled in a situation. Again, entanglement. And we get the frog. The frog, number 57, is we get transformation again. And we might have to expect and deal with some things that are not pleasant. We might have to accept some things that aren't pleasant. We're going through transformation. There may be some disappointment, but it's also saying that he's going to have some things that are very disappointing for him coming, and that he's going to be shown to be tangled up in some criminal business. In short and sweet. Okay. I hope this didn't just, okay, good. It's just restarted. I got the B next and fire. And it's still making sense, you guys. The B and fire speak about social communication, especially the B, all right? So I'll go to 54 and I'll read that to you, and then I'll go to number 17, which is fire, and we'll talk about that again. The B, all right? Number 54, hard work and productivity, taking on a project, good communication with peers, also social interactions. But there's destruction with fire. So any hard work that he put into something is going to be destroyed. And there may be links to communication that could be significant to that. In evidence, that is very damning of some kind, or they find things that link, and we're shown that again and again this reading, that there's links that will be made, and it's bad news for him. Okay, the 17 with fire, I was going to read you that one, is about all that passion, creativity, consuming emotions, but also utter destruction. And with the other cards that came, when we get B, all that work, and there's a lot of chatter, there is going to be complete destruction. I really think they're going to mess themselves up, and they're going to be caught out in it. How that all transpires, I can't say for sure. I really will be very upset if our government just rolls over and doesn't do anything that's in presently. But I think from the cards I've gotten in other readings before that they're playing a very careful, thorough courses of action. We're seeing that already with going after the cryptocurrency dude that was taking bets and stuff on Trump winning the election. There's going to be more of that, and people that are bigger and more powerful that they're going to seek to get information from these people. Already said that in another reading, and if you've been listening to me, you'll know that. 83, we get the wish and house. And that one's definitely going to be dealing with home, I'm sure. So 83 and 28. Well, the house is having a sense of personal identity. It's your family, it's stability, it's your safe place, your home. And he has a wish around his family. Maybe if he gets caught and in trouble, he's going to be asked for help for his family of some kind. That's what I would guess. Makes sense, right? 83. Is a desired outcome, hoping for the impossible, grand visions of the future. Well, also the family is hoping for this grand vision of the future. But I don't think they're getting that. I think that with utter destruction, I think that is going to be more of a hope for the impossible. I get key and volcano. Oops. Let's take a look real quick. 21 and 87. Well, we know that volcano is eruption, anger continuing to come to the surface, uncontrollable temper, built up pressure exploding. And key number 21. This is for J.D. Vance. I am reading on him. And the inauguration primarily. 21. Key. Freedom or imprisonment, resolving a mystery. Trying to keep something safe with volcano going on. So I don't think that's going to work. Broom and dagger. 39 and 19. And then I'm going to switch to another deck and we'll look at some other stuff with him. So that was, what was it? $39 and 19. All right. Oh, getting a situation in order. And again, there's a reference to domestic duties, sometimes possibly an erotic encounter, but I don't know about that. In this case, I think it is more of a concern to do with family if he gets in trouble. And we're dealing with the 19, the dagger. Probably somebody sticking it in his back that is member of that side. Because that's what they do. They cannibalize each other. Very cruel. Deceit, betrayal, hidden aggressions, connected to broom. Connected to... Where was that one? 39. Connected to domestic duties, getting a situation in order. Activity. So activity of deceit, activity that is hidden aggression, things that are hidden that are destructive, coming too late. So, I just don't think that he's going to, I don't know, if he should happen to get inaugurated, I just think that he and Trump are going to get pulled up on something on the fraud and on the criminal activity. It's like not so fast. And I keep getting that. But I just want to remind you, this is a tarot reading. Keep an open mind. I don't want people to be falsely led. I want you to keep a cool head, keep these bits of information as possibilities, and put them on the shelf in your mind, and just watch things play out. Do the things you can do to support our current government and trying to stop them. Keep letting them know how you feel. I think it would have nonetheless encouraged them to know that we don't want them to roll over. And it doesn't look like they're going to. And that is a real fear of mine, to be honest. And I think all of ours. But I'm just not getting it, despite the fact that my fear is like, look again, look again. Are you sure? Make sure, Maya, look again. And I keep getting the Hanged Man. And I also keep getting messages of, you're going to need to just accept what the information you've been given, watch things take place, do what you can, keep close to the divine, and just have to kind of trust in that. And that's really hard to do. And you're going to feel like you're crazy for doing it. But I believe that let's just watch, wait, and see. Okay. Now, one of the things I want to ask about him is if there is some kind of, I want to know how he feels about Elon. Okay? So we'll be looking at J.D. Vance's feelings like directly here. These cards that I'm going to pull are going to represent his feelings. How does he feel towards Elon Musk? Does he enjoy working with him? What does he really think of Elon Musk? Let's just find out. And let's find out what he really thinks of Trump. And we'll look at some more things and see how that goes and round this up. Okay, so what does JD think of Elon? Well, there's some kind of, I think he feels like he may have lost something here. There's 3, right? And I think he feels like he kind of a little depressed, like it's not completely all over for him. But I think this could be some feelings that there's others that get preference. Yeah, with the Knight of Cups. He has a lot of emotion actually here. And I believe he feels like he needs to come forward with an offer because he feels some sense of remorse or some sense of depression, some sense of loss from the energy of 3 others in particular. That's what I think. There's like a sense of a loss of connection, a loss of vibrancy with those relations. I think he's trying to feel connected to the group. We get the 10 of Swords. This is a very painful ending card. There's a lot of mental conflict that is draining here around or connected to the King of Pentacles. And I think that's Elon with all his money. Maybe he just feels like he can't supersede him or something. But he feels a definite like loss of energy, a definite deflation, and he's trying to make peace with it. And I think he's going to try to remind them he has something to offer with that Knight of Cups. Because I don't think he feels like I think he's feeling a little bit of a outsider. Also, pardon me, this 10 of Swords with the King of Pentacles you know, it could be trying to undermine Elon. It's especially if he's feeling like he's being shut out. He might try and offer something to kind of try, but I just don't think it's going to land. I think he's feeling out of place. Yeah, we're getting that 10 of swords and the page of pentacles. That's not good. I feel that he feels like he's out of his league. Especially with some of the, well, like Elon and stuff. I mean, because he doesn't have the same backgrounds politically that some of these people do, or quite the success. And you get these egos, male egos in, you get some tender feelings there. The Chariot and the Emperor is a determination to go toward the presidency and the president and to be successful. He wants to be part of the team. He wants to be an active part, not somebody that's kind of been forgotten. And that's where he is at right now. He's got feeling some kind of way a little bit there. Okay, where Elon is concerned. But it looks like he's trying to pull himself together and, do this. There's a tremendous amount of stress upon him, and there's going to be another wave of it that is over. It's too much. The situation with Elon, it's got him all stressed out. Anger. One thing about his sign and some of the elements in his chart, and his birth number 5, is that people like him, and he is a Leo, he has a pretty strong personality, and he can end up rubbing people the wrong way. So that also shows he has some issues with communication with other people. I was reading, if he is angry, he can really lash out and have a bad temper. Misplaced anger, though. That's the problem. And it can create problems for him socially. That's what it said. So 8 of Wands, more Wands activity, and Knight of Wands. Look, this dude's going to be stressed. There's so much activity. Things are going to speed up and accelerate with this Knight and this 8 of Wands coming in. All kinds of activity going on. It's going to make his head spin. And he's not going to be feeling like this start is gentle. This is going to be exhausting. The stress is nonstop. It looks like one set of circumstances that they're trying to, it's like they're drinking out of the fire hose feeling. The Page of Cups and the corruption and the addictive, oppressive devil. There's a little surprise here coming. Something that was not expected. I would say if any of these guys have blackmail on them, they best seriously mind it. The Page of Cups and the Devil. I don't like that either. So let me just pull a few more like that go with that. We're getting the Knight of Pentacles and Strength. It's about self-moderation and learning how to control yourself to mature. And there's an immaturity here with the Devil, actually, with this. That's like there's a corruption within that's I feel like what's the word I want to use? Arrested development, where you get obsessive about certain things and you let that obsession take control of you, and it's not healthy. And you need to learn how to cope with good coping mechanisms that are healthy. The Tower and the King of Swords. There's a collapse around Trump. Every time I read on these people, it's horrible. And not just for us, but for them. Because I am looking at them, not at us. I am asking about them. We have the Queen of Pentacles looking, I feel like, expanding activity. Oh, it could be his wife. It could be Melania as well. I'm not sure who. It also could be a female that is looking at global connections with finance and business deals, or connections regarding, I think, this election. And money and agreements, exchanges for these things. What are the agreements? Where's the money? What are you doing? Pride gets delayed. There's going to be a delay. A hang up. There are things yet to be revealed about manipulation and communications, various tools used to cheat, various kinds of people with various kinds of skills will be revealed. It's coming. There is a real, going to be a real sense of disbelief, disconnection, disinterest, where maybe that old-fashioned, custom welcome, where that's concerned, maybe even religious beliefs, it's just like it's missing. It's not the ethics, the morals. It's not connecting. They're not interested. They don't care that they're being brought up like this is immoral by people. Page of Swords and the Queen of Swords. I feel like this is looking into the activities and calling out facts. I just don't see good, helpful things going for him. I think he is looking at some devastation where he has expected something wonderful or impossible to occur. So I don't know, you guys. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's what I'm getting for his timeline, and I just want to leave it there. So again, just take mental note. Some of this might be accurate, some of it might not be. This is an entertainment channel. This is a tarot. So just take and put those details on the mental shelf. Keep your eyes on what's happening and take care of yourselves too. Self-care is another big message that I'm getting, because they're going to really want to exhaust us. And there's just going to be days that you've got to take for yourself away from the topic and the topics and disconnect so that you can stay sane. And feel free to do that. You know, the world, it'll keep going. Don't worry. You know, if you take a few days break. Anyway, so if you appreciate readings like this, please do give me a thumbs up. I will be doing some more of the videos that I had originally had lined up, while I also do some more deep dives and then shorter readings with the political situation. I also want to do some readings that are just very brief, but are like thoughts for the day or something that's uplifting, because we need that kind of good stuff. And if I can just pull a few cards and give you that is just for that, you know, and it's not about reading about events or what might happen, but just food for the soul. Take you under 5 minutes probably, or 10. I think that's good. All right, you guys, enough already. Thank you so much for all who are subscribed, and please thumb up again if you would my videos. It helps to get a little channel like me out there. Thank you so much, and take care and be kind.